Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state.
Hey, welcome back, guys, to Innovation Unplugged. I'm Houston Blackwood, part of the fabulous Innovation Center team. In studio today, I've got two great guests. You know them both. You've seen them, heard them, seen all the amazing work they're doing. On my left is Matt Heaton, our Career Readiness Manager. Hello, Matt.
Hello, how are you?
Good to see you again. Nice shirt.
Yes.
And on my right is Mr. Tom Chappell. Some call him Tom Chappell
Some do.
on the street, but he is Tom Chappell, our Career Readiness Coordinator. And what I love to say, in some shows, I just know people, and in some shows I know people, and so I've been knowing Matt for like 10 years and Tom for about the same, no more.
Yeah,
probably about the same 10-year period.
Yep.
I don't know when it was, but I don't know if you guys remember. Y'all probably don't pay attention on my social media. I made a post on LinkedIn one time, right after y'all's big trailer show down in Columbia, and I said, "Hey, sometimes have you ever hired someone because you just knew they were going to do something big?" And that thing is still rolling. I think it's got like 1,200 likes or impressions, whatever LinkedIn does. It's stupid. Not that social media makes me feel better about anything, but 1,200 people saw the amazing work that y'all been doing, and a lot more. So, and that's the way it is. It's not always easy. And some people say don't work with your friends. But man, we have rocked this because I knew who you were as men, humans, before we got into this job. So it's been phenomenal. Matt came first, then Tom. But what we came to talk about today with you guys is our new simulator trailers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call them? What's the name?
They are Skills for Success simulator trailers.
They have funny names though, like 41 Bravo, and
Yeah, that's just to keep all the numbers and barcodes
Alpha.
from the system office situated.
yeah,
Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie.
Yep.
41, 42, 43.
That's as far as we've gotten on our ABCs that we're learning.
We don't want to take our shoes off and to count
I haven't
stuff.
gotten to Foxtrot yet.
Yeah.
Tom can do the foxtrot.
Can you do the foxtrot? I would pay money to see that.
Yeah, I'll bet you would.
All right.
Life would too.
Okay. Let's keep the show professional. So, there's actually a lot to unpack on these things, and I mean they are complex and it's robust. And it's going to be really, really big, and we don't know. We can't even predict what it's going to look like. But so far, so good. Been amazing. So, Matt, give us a rundown, a little bit of how these simulator trailers came from an idea to an actual on the ground 3 wide and turn 4 reality.
The 3 wide and turn 4 was pretty cool. But we were actually talking on the way down this morning. A year and a half ago, almost to the date, we were at Strack Incorporated for their ribbon cutting. So even rewind back previous another 6-8 months to that was the conversation started. Chris Strickland had already presented on our behalf before the state legislature to help provide the funding and get that funding in the right place so we could start the ball on the funding's there. Now what type of simulators best fit the need that we have for our courses? And then to the Strack, with their ribbon cutting, they had a setup with the same simulators that we wound up purchasing, and it allowed us to go put hands on, ask questions, and then with the pros and cons of all the different simulators we looked at, landed on that to now here we are, 2026, feels like almost 3 years in the making, but to have everything in hand, other than a few little mismatched things we still need to order just to kind of finalize the process when we're on site. But 3 years in the making with a lot of different hands to having 3 simulators or 3 trailers, 6 sims, and a VR desktop setup in each trailer to allow for a lot of students at one time to have hands-on experience. So here we are with 3 different things ready to roll statewide.
Yeah. When we first started, we were looking at CAT, and CAT's a great tool. Like you can actually take the joysticks off the simulator and put it on the machine, and it works. And I saw a cat, worked with a cat, and then I was riding around. It was actually Dirt World in 24 in Oregon, and the guy from Strack, I can't remember his name. We'll call him David.
David, he was a great guy.
He was there, and he had one on display, and I sat down in it, and it just so happened like a month later, we went over to Jackson, Mississippi. Actually, I was in Jackson, Mississippi in 2023 and saw a 10-star at Hines Community College. Anyway, so I rode around with Chris Strickland, who helped us get the funding for this. And he said, hey, what are you thinking on the Sims? And I was like, well, the cat does all of these machines that are heavy equipment only, but this 10-star is more mobile and does 27 different things that cover all the stuff we want to explore in.
Right.
And I remember riding around some country road in Oregon, and I was like, I think we need to go with 10-star. And he said, I do too. Go for it. Got the green light. So then the Strack guy was there, and we connected. Y'all went over there and spent a day at their ribbon cutting, and got to start prove the concept more or less. Come back, and then y'all took it from there. And what's that? The Air Force guys say, you got the ball, run the ball. Anyway, when they're about to take off, I saw it in a show the other day.
It's probably a
Gun.
Well, no, it wasn't Top Gun. It was like a documentary, but the guy was like about to go, he was like, give me the ball. Then the guy that's like, run the ball. Anyway.
see ball, get ball.
See ball, get ball. Anyway, so that's how it happened. What were some of the early resistance like to the idea of a trailer? Was there any resistance early from anybody or big obstacles to make it happen?
I don't know that we had obstacles other than the red tape of purchasing through the state processes.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's been opposed to what we're doing. And just, again, maneuvering our way through the purchasing process has been a long process.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like, this was the first time the system office had ever bought anything that big. It was, over $1 million, $1.2 million, all in trailers and Sims. So they weren't, just like when we started, no one really knew what to do with us. And so they still don't know what to do with us. We keep buying these things and doing it.
Well, and making sure we got the right setup and the right size trailer to make the setups work when you start rolling down the road. That was a whole deal in itself.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I think y'all nailed it. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. What was the workforce or economic development problem that we were trying to solve, Tom, when we put these simulators in motion?
I think from our perspective, we're trying to touch, and I loved hearing Chris. I think Chris had some input in the answer to this question in his desire for these, and he was instrumental in helping us get the monies to make this happen. But his desire was to touch the younger people than we were touching already. We 3+ years ago started offering our courses through the colleges to the K-12 world, and it's just exploded. So Chris's desire and vision is that 8th graders, that's when the critical year when 8th and 9th graders start making those decisions about careers and what they really want to do. And it's obvious now, many of them still don't know, but they start formulating those ideas. So to his point, many people were entering the construction industry on a second and third chance. So I've got these great plans. Oh man, they didn't work out. I'll just go back to the construction industry. Well, Chris says, hey, there's too many good paying career paths, career options in the construction industry. Let's start touching these kids as 8th graders and 9th graders when they're formulating those with their parents, having those discussions. Let's let them touch some stuff that they can't touch in our programs till later.
Yeah.
And start making. So I think that this widens our touch to people. Again, we've backed up. We didn't back up, obviously, but we started offering our programs in the K-12 world. So we're kind of even coming backwards a little bit more and touching some younger people when they start making those decisions. And to your point, workforce, economic development, it's one and the same, hand in hand. Without one, you don't have the other.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the pushback we always give when people say, well, why do you spend so much time with K-12? Well, because if they learn early that they like or don't like something, they're going to not spend money on something they don't like. Like I was going to go to Auburn to be a turf grass engineer. I don't know what it was called. It was not that specifically, but I worked at a golf course and I learned that I did not like golf people collectively. I'm sure that out there, everybody except at that one place, they're all nice, but I didn't like the superintendent. And I also didn't like the work schedule because it was like 2 a.m. one time and the frost came in. We had to go cover the greens at 2 a.m. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And so anyway, so my parents didn't spend money on Auburn for that kind of engineer. And so it worked out. But I think if we tell kids early, hey, here's some options, pick what you don't like, they're not going to waste money. And then maybe they're going to make more money and hopefully stay home because these jobs are pretty local. So it's a good economic incentive for the local people. So what would have happened if we had not pushed on that initiative? What would have happened in the 8th grade world? Was there anything else on the horizon really statewide?
I mean, Matt and I have crossed paths with some other sim options along the way. I mean, I think that's little kids learn that way. In other words, how kids learn, you guys know this better than I did. I didn't come from the educational world, but how kids learn changes as kids,
Oh yeah.
how I learned versus how you guys learned versus how kids learn today is just a constant change. So, I mean, this is leading edge technology.
Oh, it sure is.
and so, if we'd not gotten into it, somebody else would have.
Yeah.
And I think, we'd have missed the boat on that respect.
Yeah. Well, in that time frame when these students are filling out their interest inventory on what I want to be when I grow up, I don't know that there was a hands-on ability to really, rather than reading the description saying, hey, and that sounds cool, and waiting down the road till they were old enough to enroll in something or whatever. But
yeah,
at that age to be able to say, even being in the piece of heavy equipment on a simulator was too scary. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, we've had that happen in the real, in the real sim, but let's look at a short video from the ribbon cutting to show what it looks like for a student to actually be sitting in that simulator, there's touching the ball, whatever, move it on the excavator. Let's take a quick look at that, and then we'll come right back. All right, so when we are looking at like rolling these simulators out statewide now, like north, central, south, from Daleville to Thomasville to Florence and Scottsboro and everywhere in between, we're going out there. People say, oh, are you teaching those kids on how to run these machines, or is it career awareness? Which one is it, Matt? Are we teaching them, or are we just showing them what's possible out there?
I would say a little bit of both, depending on what the time constraint looks like for each group of students will depend on the timing that they can spend. But each of the pieces of software we have on the Sims, we've found an activity that will help them understand the basics and the safety and buckling up, and provide 5 to 6, maybe 10 minutes of a hands-on operating whatever it is. So, I think it'd be a little bit of both.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of the product we bought, the 10-star unit. Is, I think for these career exploration events, career fairs, things we'll be primarily doing, our primary goal is going to be like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Throughput. I mean, we want as many kids as possible to get a meaningful touch of it. But the beauty of the product is we could dig really deep in the weeds and use it for education at another event, or another purpose. There's some very intensive learning opportunities on these simulators. So that's one of the things about it, is that we can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Greg Lindsay from 10-Star has asked to partner with us to build a curriculum that pairs our ability to do the the theory, the online theory, with the content they have, the different levels of competencies inside there. So I think it'd be really cool if we actually took a look at that as an innovation center team. That's one of the next things, like to go vertical with all of our heavy equipment, especially what's in there, dozer excavator. Is rollers not in there? But dozer and excavator are for sure.
Mm-hmm. And skid steer should be, well, it'll be on whenever this airs.
Yeah, and I saw they were saw Tidstar had the paving sequence coming.
Yes,
they were working with C.W. Matthews over in Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Matt and I were talking on the way down here. There's a NASCAR driver now. His name escapes me, but he came into NASCAR through the simulation league, the iRacing.
Oh yeah,
won a tremendous amount of races in that before he got into actually getting into cars. So similar to this, I could see a point down the road where we actually do more teaching and learning than just exposure.
Yeah,
through these.
I bet with the success you guys are going to have, I bet we're going to end up with a whole other set of trailers just for training, not just for the career awareness. But how early is too early for these simulators to be in front of a kid?
I don't think you could really put an age or a grade on it. I would say the biggest stipulation would be what size the person is. There's only so much that seat can slide up for you to touch the pedals to work things.
I would have bet my 5-year-old grandson could rock it
if he can reach both joysticks.
All the grandkids love heavy equipment, as do most kids with them on their pajamas and everything. But this, literally, 5, 6, 7 years old, you could start touching it.
Oh yeah. There was a kid at the Hartzell Finding Your Future that I couldn't get that seat far enough, and the shifter was on there, and he wanted to do excavator, but bless his heart, he was just a little feller.
Yeah,
and he was disappointed, so we sent him over to something else that he could actually drive.
Yeah,
get there. All right, Matt, this question is for you. You've been in K-12 most of your career. That's where we met, down in Good Hope High School, and with Big Bailey Parish and that rubber snake and all that. It was such a good day. But anyway, we worked a lot with special situations at that school, special populations. But what is different about this particular career prep, career awareness that you've never seen before until right now?
I would say the ability to, like we just talked about, no matter what the age, again, if you can reach the handles and reach the pedals, the ability to, again, not just reading a description or studying in class or watching a video, but the ability to actually put your hands on it. And we've discussed in previous episodes, and we talk about it all the time, the real world feel of these bases, how they're moving, whether you're driving CDL or you're getting a little teeter feel on the heavy equipment. Just again, if they can reach the things, just the ability to experience that before they're filling out those interest inventories. I think I might want to do that.
There was at the ribbon cutting, there was a young lady on the ambulance sim, and I was outside the trailer looking into it from the back, and I don't know what she did. She wrecked. But that sim was like rocking like this, man. And I heard some squeals and giggles, and I'm pretty sure I heard a shriek of not excitement.
Yeah.
Because that thing was rolling, and it was so good to watch. And Latrinda was in that trailer, and her big, beautiful glasses, and her eyes were about that big because that thing was going wild. And that kid, once it stopped, the kid was laughing and enjoyed it. But man, she learned something, right? Like, she learned something very powerful.
They're very realistic. I can't stay on them too long. It makes me get a little.
Especially
motion sickness. Yeah.
Well, then when we were at that Hartzell event, there was sometimes we buckle the seatbelt just for time's sake, but cover. Hey, typically when you're sitting, like, this is the first thing you got to do. But I started unbuckling it for a couple of them, and they got in and they were driving open road 18-wheeler, and it was, I think I set it up to where it was night and raining.
Okay.
And so they're cruising down through there. Everything's going great. I was like, I don't know if you've looked out of your mirror yet, but there's a police behind you, and you did not cover all of your safety protocol. And they start taking their hands off the wheel, and they never did buckle up. So, and sometimes they were driving so well that time span to get to the other people was lasting so long. So I would point that out, and and whenever it went off road, the tipping and everything that they experienced, they were like, wow.
Yeah, it is very real. So, Tom, you've been with us long enough, and you knew these things before you even joined our team, like career fairs and job fairs, and you saw a whole bunch of them before we had this. Why is what we're able to offer at a career fair now light years ahead of what we were doing 6 months ago?
Oh man, it's a game changer for us. Just in the couple of times we've been so far, people, I think for the most part, our experience shown that, especially in the kids, not older adults and things, but in the kids, the high school career fairs and stuff. The kids, let's face it, they're looking for something. They're looking for a Chotsky or an experience or something.
Oh yeah,
and so now we're going to be one of the top draws, regardless, because we've not seen many at these career fairs. Occasionally, there'll be a construction company that'll have a lift or something, and there's a long line. People want to ride the lift, or just some simple activities, hands-on things. So they're actually going to be able to, like we said, they'll come in, and we're going to try to give them as much of a meaningful experience as we can, and get as many people through as we can. But it's going to be a game changer. Who wants a cup or a pen when you can get on a excavator simulator and right.
Well, and there's been times we've been at those career fairs that something as simple as the National Guard's pull-up contest drew the crowd, and
nothing to do with work.
Nothing else stuck out because, hey, I want to see how many pull-ups can do and if I can beat my buddy.
Yeah,
we've seen just in the quick time we've been at a couple, not only the kids that were there, but many of the educators that came with the kids to the career fair are very interested in what that as well. So,
well, if you're a young teacher, like God bless the middle school teacher that's brand new, and they're on that tier X insurance plan, retirement plan, they work until they're 80.
Yep.
And now they're over there, and ultimately at the end of the day, especially if they're coaching something, they're making about $250 an hour. And they're over there and you're rattling off, oh, you can make $25 an hour plus overtime riding this skid steer at, Joe Dirt moving company. And they're like, wait a minute, so that's what does get their attention. And what I love about this too, like we're rolling in there with a simulator trailer, 2 sims. And so it's roughly $350,000 package. Like put the truck in there, maybe $400,000. And, and a lot of times with all the other stuff we would do at career fairs, like we're trying to keep every little item under $1, right? And and these kids are just snatching that stuff and it goes nowhere. But now they're like, oh man, I drove a whatever today, right? So it's really cool.
Yeah, I imagine they're going home telling mom and dad.
Oh yeah,
about this experience versus, Mom, I got 16 pins and 3 squishies, and hey, Mom, I got to drive an excavator today.
Yeah, she's like, what? Calling school. What are y'all doing up there?
Calling the school right now,
my baby. All right. So how do we measure that this is going to work? Like, flash forward 3 months, and we don't know, man. Like, it could all they could all break down, and it'd be awful, Greg Lindsay. But it's not going to be. How are we going to measure that our plan, our machines, our process, our impact is actually working? What does that look like in 3 to 6 months for y'all?
Depending on with that age group and the ability to, we got the sim trailer with somebody from our team working on that, and someone from workforce or whoever, the ability to combine that with the table for the what's next if you enjoyed this, when you turn this age, these are the different opportunities of training that you can take at no cost. And and I think in the long run, with that, the hands-on of the sim, with the what's next from the table setup, I think you help feed more students at an earlier age through some of those career techs that they may not have ever looked into without. It sounds simple in the grand scheme of things, getting on a simulator, but it's like we talked about earlier, that's something that, to our knowledge, has never been a mass opportunity for the state. So I think that's all going to help the career tech programs grow as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, Jeff State has a trailer they're working in the Birmingham area, their service region with, I forget the name of the company. If I was real about this effort, I would have it, but it was really just for their service area, and it works. It's good. I think they're using their heavy equipment sim and a CDL sim. Their L3 Harris products, good product. But they're not able to go outside because that bandwidth, whatever. So we said, hey, we'll do that for you. We'll help you out there. So take a little bit, either one of you on this one. So we have the plan, and we have a mission to go forward. Who's going to own this? Like the delivery, the deployment. How's this going to work really with our colleges?
I don't know that we know the answer to that yet. We've, as Matt and I discussed early on, there's going to be some, as I have heard quoted in our team before, we're building the airplane as we're flying it, but
Nobody ever said that.
nobody or anything like that. But
We never heard that the first time.
but literally, Matt has been covered up. I know we'll talk about some scheduling and how you go about that in a minute, but we've been covered up already. We're not even a week into this.
Really?
We're a couple of weeks past our ribbon cutting, and I'm gonna have some gray hairs.
So
it's not gray now,
Oh.
but there will be soon because, and I'm gonna be throwing in the towel because already look at my calendar. I color coded the events, and literally about every day of every week for the next 3 months is a sim event.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, but to answer that question, we don't really know yet.
Yeah.
It could go several different directions, but it's going to be fun to find out where it goes.
Well, and to that point too, I would say right now probably 40% of the requests that came in have come from a community college saying, "Hey, we're partnering with this.
Okay.
Can you come?" And on the other side of that, like Tom said, we're booked for 3 months. We don't currently have enough people to do all that. So the downside is, and we've had this discussion a lot, is a lot of the workforce staffs at the colleges are small, some a team of one, maybe two. So the ability for them to be able to plug in these 3-4 months of jam-packed stuff is limited, but the open door to, we're going to be here, you are welcome to set up that table in place of us to promote what you're doing with Skills for Success that ties into the trailer, and then your what's next from the college perspective too.
We're going to be able to draw people in for them.
Yeah.
I think if they'll partner with us at these events, we're going to hit the easy button for them. We're going to draw people to them by them partnering with us at these events. Hey, set up your table. I promise you'll have people coming to talk to you.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm going to move on down to a different question. We're talking about scalability and not watering it down, so it just doesn't become something we roll out, and no engagement. If the college was like, okay, if we really want to catch these 8th graders and for like dual enrollment and all the other things when they're 9 through 12, it's not just going to be the workforce team. To your point, the workforce teams, man, they are smack dab in the middle of all of it, and they're in their space. They don't have the bandwidth for one more thing.
No,
like they're already one more thing over capacity. And I know that, and it's because they're serving, and believe it or not, they do other things besides Skills for Success. I know they don't want to admit that, but they have to. So, but the student services, the career coaches, all those folks from the college, I think they could be really a help to set up those tables, greet kids, because they're people, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that's what works. What do you see as we move into actually setting this up with the colleges, and once they see it one time in their area, how are we going to scale that to really put those machines in the right places? So meaning physically, how are we going to set those machines up for success to be able to roll quickly across the South, across the Central, across the North?
Well, crunching some numbers and things.
Crunching the numbers.
But seriously, with a 2-sim trailer setup, and we've played with different ways, but for 1 sim in a 7-hour day, with that 5 to 6 minute safety, learn how to do the thing, we could serve 75 students per day on 1 sim.
Okay.
150 with the base trailer setup, but again, the reason we went with the 10-star, the ability to roll them around and move them, we can safely transport up to 4 sims in a trailer.
Yeah.
And actually set 3 up in the trailer and have 1 outside at a booth to not that the billboard on the trailer is not going to grab their attention, but
Yeah.
for 4 times 75 in a day, that's a lot more hands-on experiences for some.
It's 300, man.
We had to take his shoes off to count that far.
Yeah,
We worked at a county school.
yeah. So that's, I mean, twice the amount, as long as the availability is there to do it, and just being open-minded to move some things around to fit whatever the crowd is. We've got some requests, and we're never going to be able to serve every student there, but we can provide the best opportunity for as many students that want to put hands on to do so.
Yeah.
Well, and seeing it is of some value as well.
Mhm.
Even if you don't get to sit on it, you see it,
Mhm.
and you
Right.
can watch somebody else do it and still get some benefit from it. Obviously, it's more fun if you can sit on it and touch it. But just like when we got an event scheduled, a week long, 4 days, 10,000 people. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be able to serve all those.
Yeah.
We'll have great exposure there.
Where is that one?
People. It's going to be in Oxford.
Yeah.
Over
When this airs, it will have already passed, but it'll be Oxford Civic Center for the World of Works for Gaston State's area.
Kansas State for Bashia and Andy and Shay.
And that one came,
Juanica.
I saw the email threads when the announcement went out. It came from President Smith saying, "Hey, we're 2 months away. We need this."
Yeah.
But,
Well, and so that's a very powerful thing. You know, Alan Smith has been a supporter of us.
yes.
Even when he was dean at Workforce, now he's the president over there. You know, and he sees us appropriately, I think, as a very good tool in his toolbox. You know, we're not the main thing over there, but when I like to hear that he saw that, and then once y'all roll through a couple of these things, you know, the word's going to spread. And that's how it started when we started this thing to begin with. Like we were bragging and social media and showing off whichever college was doing the course, and then they're like, "Well, I want to do that course." Well, sign up.
Yeah.
You know,
How do I do that?
come on.
And that's what it'll do to allow the opportunity. 10,000 people we're never going to serve, but those career coaches, counselors that are there with those students, how do we have this at our school? And then you could schedule a county-wide tour to encompass that with the local community college and those types of things.
We saw that in Hartselle with Corey and her team. At least they're always looking for great opportunities for their students. And this is going to be something new in that. So I think we're going to find many, many, many career coaches and counselors who are interested in us coming along. And then if we can bring the college along with us, it's just going to be a win-win-win.
Yeah, the next time we all go together, I'm not sitting out in the cold. Y'all put me out back by myself at Hartselle. It's cold out there. It's all alone in the dark. I don't really appreciate that.
Like a mushroom.
Basically, yeah, just a mushroom. All right, so let's get into it. We're kind of getting close on the end of this episode. And at some point, I want the audience to see the schedule, like your calendar, like show what that chaos looks like before we get there. Because y'all also, not only do you have a 10,000 student rodeo in next week, but then you have like a 4 or 5 day run down on the coast. Like, what are you doing down there? Tell me about that before we move on.
So Tom he's actually leaving out a day before me, and he's going to Baldwin County to a 8th grade career tech tour. And then from there, the ACTA conference is that same week. So that's statewide career tech directors, whatever. They actually connected on social media. I know one of the gentlemen. He's like, "Hey, you think we could get this in Gulf Shores for the week or whatever?"
The answer is always yes.
The answer is yes, but I mean, that's a long haul for
us.
Yes.
Being from the north.
Yes.
Well,
but
yes.
So we found a day in between that, providing all those career tech directors a day to experience it. Then Tom will leave out and head to the Mobile area to finish off the week for another 8th grade career tech tour.
And what week is that? I know that's going to be happened before this airs.
It will be. That would be the first full week of April.
Okay, in April. Cool. It'll just have happened when we air this.
Right.
Good. Okay, so let's talk turkey for our 8th grade schools, our career coaches, high schools, and the community colleges. you know, and the community colleges have always done a really good job of taking whatever we offer and applying it the best they can in their area.
Mm-hmm.
How does that college or the school take lead to request these trailers? And I know that process, for the audience, that process may be fluid because we're going to learn things we couldn't have possibly predicted.
Mm-hmm.
But how does it look for them to say, hey, Matt, Tom, can you bring that thing to my house?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me all about that.
Well, hopefully by the time this airs, we will have a K-12 tab on the website that will have a link to the form, and it's as simple as putting in your date, putting in your organization name, the time of the event, and the time of the setup, and we'd like to know how many students you anticipate being there to be served, so we can, again, kind of coordinate, hey, do we need to stick another sim on the trailer or whatnot, but we can't promise that when you fill out that form, just because you put that date, we can be there, but we can promise that we will call and let you know what the availability is to work around both schedules to make sure you get served.
Yep.
It's already been interesting to watch Matt work that.
No, sorry, we're busy that day.
It's a puzzle. I mean, like we said, going down towards the coast, South Alabama, you're trying to, hey, we got an event Monday, we got one Wednesday, we got this one Tuesday. Hey, what if we moved your event to Tuesday? We could better serve you there because we're going to be here, and then we can go. You know, it's a moving puzzle trying to logistically get the trailer to the point where we could be set up at a 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m. time slot.
That's a whole other day.
It's a puzzle, but it's it's almost like a war room. You know, just sitting there at the board, looking at the dates and the pieces.
Like, I've got the main table of the request form that I pull up, and on another screen I pull up just the sim request calendar, and then I pull up our Outlook calendar. It's like just because it shows available here, it doesn't mean we don't have other duties that we're assigned to outside of sim. So
the old ODA.
I told Matt, just don't even check with me, just assign it to me. And
that's very nice of you, Tom.
I mean, but it was not like, hey, are you available this day or that? And, or what about this day? So, hey, just assign it and we'll go with it. We'll make it happen.
Well, I'll say this for all the, all four audience members, viewers, to hear, like, take care of your home life too. Like, we're going to burn this thing to the ground. It's going to be amazing, but that y'all still have a wife, and you got a wife and some kids and a dog, so let's not forget what's the main thing. But, I love that it's already an opportunity to solve, it's really cool. So
and the fact we're already having to say, sorry, we're not available.
Yeah.
Let's look. There's some requests there that I'm going to have to call and say, hey, let's look at early mid-May. I know you're about to close out school, but that's what we got. And have booked into fall 2026. That's into November.
We got a couple of October.
Really?
A couple of October.
We got Oktoberfest. Can we?
Yeah.
We can't. So I'm not going there. Okay. So they're going to go to trainforalabama.com and see the career
K-12
form. And it'll be on there, and we'll flash that link on the screen. We can have it on our website. So once they request it, though, and then we're going to get to the setup. Like, what does it look like for the 8th grade school or the college to actually have this thing on site? What do they have to do there to help us help them?
Well, again, that's going to be fluid and case by case scenario. We spent some time with our ribbon cutting venue. Actually went down and did a site visit on that one because we had the ask for all three in a particular arrangement with a podium and chairs. So obviously, I don't think we could get into that much detail on it, but we're going to need to know. Hey, ideally for us, it's good to keep them in the enclosed trailer as opposed to bringing them out of the trailer. So do you have room? Can we bring the trailer into the venue? There's certain venues across the state where we can actually pull the trailer into the venue.
That's nice.
That's nice.
That's perfect. Other than that, hey, do you have a space by the front door where the kids or the participants will be entering? Because as we experienced in Hartselle, we were on the back side of it and
with that trailer,
didn't know they were there. So we got to have that front door entry spot. And then, as a second or third choice. Hey, can we, where can we get these? Are there curb cuts or ramps, to roll these in? They're on rollers, but it's got to be a
Smoothish.
to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're also going to we're going to Barber Motor Speedway with these babies.
We are.
Do some F1 and some 10-star and some career readiness.
Yeah.
One of the most fun things to me is watching y'all puzzle this together, because like you're very creative and artistic, and you've done a lot to design the wraps and drive that. And Matt is like the most organized human ever, and I'm not. Like, I totally live in the gray, and I don't even have socks on right now. So like, because I forgot to put socks on this morning. So, but Matt, you have a plan for everything and a backup plan for all the things, and like you can wordsmith it and make it pretty. But watching y'all put that together and say, hey, here are all the things we need. Y'all are two different people. It's been beautiful to watch. And probably one of the most fun things ever was leaving Columbiana, getting on the interstate, and we were able to get 3 wide on 65 north at 65 miles an hour, below the speed limit. And, our team got a picture of us, all great. It was like a beautiful sky and all that. That will forever be a day, seeing that picture, but watching what y'all had done to put an idea on the ground, like literally from an idea to reality. That's been really, really cool to see. And so it's going to change. Young people's lives will change, and their family trees will change because of what they've seen. We can't measure it, but we know that's going to happen because it's what we've done already,
Right,
with our colleges and with our legislature support and all that. So, but let me ask this, if we went 10 years from now, if we could measure it, what do you think we're going to do with these simulators for the workforce pipeline in Alabama?
I think 10 years from now, we ought to be able to see the data for that. Our biggest gap in the state of Alabama in the workforce participation rate is this, 18 to 24-year-old that we always hear and talk about. But a lot of times that's the age group that they didn't have the opportunity to figure out what they wanted to do. So that's what they're doing. They may be taking a 4-credit. We've talked before. I took a year of business classes to realize I had no business in business. Credits on a transcript, but you're never going to do anything with it. But that opportunity as early as middle school to, again, put hands on something, to either say, I'm interested in learning more, next steps, whatever, to building a career earlier in life. And then you talk about the Tier Z that educators are having to be on now, the thinking about the retirements. When Tom and I interviewed Jackson Baker, the mindfulness of him to start at a municipality, and maybe the hourly wage is not what I want, but the benefits 20 and 25 years down the road are going to be heaps and bounds more than what my hourly wage is at 17 years old.
10 years from now, I don't know that I'll be around to see the.
What, are you retired early?
I'll be 74.
We hope he's around.
I'll be around.
He may be
74 years old
somewhere.
I don't think I'll be pulling trailers at 74 around the state.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't plan to be doing that either at 74.
But it's going to be, we're seeing some awesome stories of kids. The one that comes to mind is the kids from the welding program at Huntsville High School that the Rogers Group offered the jobs to. They're still there employed, but those were hired based on, more than just their experience in that heavy equipment boot camp. They obviously some other factors. Those were sharp kids, but point being, I think we see these sims being utilized more and more in depth, and that our students, those students, will be even more prepared than they are now. They're getting prepared now to get entry-level jobs into these career paths. With this edition, and then when working with 10-Star, as they develop it, they're basically a young company as well.
They are. Yeah,
as they develop their product, and we're partnering with them in the use of that product, and we've got the students and possibly some curriculum to add. It's going to be 10 years is a long time in this world these days for technology.
It's lifetime.
So 10 years is going to be amazing to see where we are now.
Yeah. Well, you guys are going to be a big deal, a big impact on that. I would say too, like this, we talked about Jackson going to municipality and having that schedule and whatever. But what they get to, and what a lot of kids don't realize, when you go work for a municipality, you aren't you aren't working every single day. Like there's some fun schedules. There's a lot of off time, and the side hustle. I hired a couple of kids a couple of weeks ago to cut down a tree. They worked for Sheffield Utilities. They're linemen, went through Calhoun's lineman school, right? Well, they so happened to go through the last one that I was a part of, and I didn't remember them because I was kind of on my way out. But they're making whatever they're making, some overtime, and now they're getting paid cash, and I'm sure they report it because they're good kids. But
yes,
yes,
they will.
But they're these heavy equipment kids, or these drivers, or these electricians, or whatever. Like the side hustles, man. Like they can be millionaires by the time they're 50 if they invest it right. So, but that's what we're after, is just to let them know what's out there. And I'm hoping maybe we can find a way to put in these sims some of the electrical, carpenter, maybe even the plumbing with some other programs. So we'll see.
I think the VR aspect of that, with putting on that desktop software, hopefully even into the health science courses we provide to allow all that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. All right, we got to get close to the end here. Tom, final thoughts on all things heavy equipment, simulator trailers for the Innovation Center.
It's just an exciting time for me. I mean, 2 years ago when I started on this team,
it's been that long.
We were April 16th. I'd say we're a month away from me being here 2 years as time's flown. But I specifically remember conversations with you and Matt, about simulators 2 years ago, and here we are on the ground with them. So it took a while to get there.
Yeah,
but it's going to be boom, lightning fast,
and
going forward. And hold on, see where we go. But it's exciting. I mean, just to be part of something that significant, changing that quickly and that fast is going to be exciting. So I'm just looking forward for the ride.
I appreciate that. And I remember in your interview, if we said, hey, if we need you to go to Mobile tomorrow or this week, you're going to say, well, what time are we leaving? And that's always been your answer.
Yep.
On this whole thing. And I appreciate your willingness to make it be what it possibly can be. So, Matt, final thoughts?
Just echo what Tom said. Excited about the opportunity, and excited and curious about what's next, because as much as we plan for the current setup we have, I think it's very capable of not being enough.
It's not enough.
No.
I can tell you right now, it's not enough. We need more. We need more.
What's next in the, I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Listen, man, we didn't know. Like, we thought we were big snot in 2022, 2023, having 2,200 people register, right? And now we've got more inventory than anybody, more than some colleges. So hey, you're right. We don't know. We're gonna get there though. We'll find out. Good. Well, I appreciate both of you. Words fail me in this moment to show my appreciation, but good job and good job in the future. Matt, we need to close this thing out, man. We are long tooth, right?
Absolutely. Again, any of the topics we've discussed on this podcast episode or any previous episode, you can find more information on that at trainforalabama.com. That's train, F-O-R, alabama.com. And this is going to conclude another episode of Innovation Unplugged. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all your social media platforms. Thank you.